Hey, John here to Liquid Today number 127. This is a fluid C Lydian run. As usual, I'm going to play it once slowly and then break it down. After the breakdown, I'm going to share some practice advice that you can apply to this one, as well as pretty much anything else you're working on. We start here on the 15th fret of the high E string. Alright, this is based on a C Lydian scale. C Lydian is just like a C major scale, but we have a sharp 4 instead, so it sounds like this. And we start here on the 15th fret, the high E string, and we're going to start with a C major arpeggio. And we're going to do exactly the same thing a whole step up. So if you're not familiar with this arpeggio, I'm going to show it now, but also check out the tabs. You have a link in the description. So you'll get the tabs with fretboard diagrams and all that stuff. So it's way easy to learn it that way. I'm going to go quite quick here because the tabs are available, so you should use them since I put a lot of time into those. And I notate everything, the pick strokes and where I played everything. So we have 15, 12 on the high E string, 13, 12, 14, 15, 10. Those are the notes. And the way that I play it is up, pull off, up, 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 down, hammer, down, 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 up, pull off. Then we repeat exactly the same thing a whole step up, D major. We put those together. And then we go into this descending arpeggio thing. What I'm doing here, I'm just outlining the triads from the C Lydian scale. So we have E minor here. So that's going to be 19, 15, 17. And I'm going to pick these the same way. It's going to be up, pull off, down, down. So we have a tiny sweep here. And then we move down to D. So we have 17, 14, 15, C, 15, 12, 13. Then we got B minor, 14, 10, 12. We got A minor, 12, 8, 10. And then we have G major, which is 10, 7, 8. Put those together. Then we end up on the root note here, C. I'm just going to go down this C Lydian scale in this position. So we're going to have 8, 5, 7 on E and B. And we're going to have 7, 5, 4 on G and D. And finally we're going to end up with, on the dots here, 7, 5, 3. And we end up on the root here. And then I just slide out one whole octave. So make sure you don't do this. That's not a nice sound. And obviously you can end this any way you like. So that's basically the whole thing. And when it comes to the legato thing here, I'm just doing hammer-ons from nowhere. And then so it's all left hand. I started off with an upstroke and then... And of course you could pick the string changes if you want, but I didn't do it in the fast version. So both work. All right, so practice-wise here, I would work on whatever trouble area you have, of course. But in general, if you have something that's fairly long like this, just learn it in sections first. And in this case, it's a lot of repetitions. So once you know this shape, it's the same thing again. Whoops, and the same thing goes for the descending arpeggios here. So the picking wise is just 4 notes. So up, pull off, down, down. And the shapes are very similar as well because it's only going to be 2 different shapes, even though we're starting on different points of the string here. So we have a minor shape from the E and B and A. Then we're going to have major shapes from D, C, and G. So that's it basically. So And if you're not used to this kind of pattern, it's a great one to work on because it's fairly easy to improve at because it's so short. What I would do for this one though is use something that I call the looping technique. And basically that's just my name for it, so it's not no official name, but I've used this for years. And you can apply this to pretty much anything that loops, hence the name. In this case we have 4 notes in our loop, so if we play this thing first, and then first step is to number the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the trick is to start on the second note of the loop. So we start on the second note here. So 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And what happens then is that now we're going to hear this note clearer because this one's going to be on the beat. And whatever note that falls on the beat is going to get what I call the spotlight effect, where you hear it clearer. And why that's good is because you can sort of hear the notes that might fall on to the wayside if you just do it one way. If you only sit like this, the notes that are at kind of weak rhythmic positions, especially the second 16th note and the fourth 16th note, they will not stick out as much. And that's where the trouble can begin, because you might totally miss that they're not even rhythmically, or they're not even dynamically. So by using this looping method, you basically get rid of that. So, and you don't need to start it like I did here, actually start with a pull off. You can just start it with a pick if you want, because once you get into it, yeah, the technique is going to be correct anyway. So if I just start with an upstroke here, I'm going to go up, down, down, up, pull off. So once I'm back on this note again, it's going to be with a pull off. So you don't necessarily need to start it like that. If you just start it and then repeat it, and then it will sort of clear itself up. And then you do the same thing from the third note. And finally the fourth note. And here's where a lot of students of mine get a bit confused, where, you know, once you play that from this note, that's fine, from that note it's fine, from that note it's fine, but then they think like, well, now I'm done now because I started on every note. But it's not the note themselves, it's the note in the sequence. So this note is both the second note, so 1, 2, and also the fourth, 3, 4. So you need to start that one in 2 ways. So you do the 2 and then the 4. So they both sound and feel different. And when I say feel different, I think this is sort of like our brain that makes this feel different, because physically it's exactly the same. You're not doing anything different, or at least you shouldn't. It's going to be the same pick stroke, same fingerings and everything. It's just that we perceive it differently because of that rhythmic effect that I talked about. So, and that makes it feel different. But that's what's important here. So you need to go through these different variations, and you don't need to get all of them up to the same speed, but if you can just play through them without being totally confused or making mistakes at a medium tempo, I think you'll find that your technique has gone up quite a few levels when it comes to whatever you're practicing. So it's a really effective practice technique.